Yo, what's good everyone? This is Ayo Boxing with Madiba, and we're here to debunk a toxic narrative that is surrounding the Naoya Inoue versus Stephen Fulton fight. If you've been in the comment section of any video that deals with Inoue versus Fulton, you'll see how toxic the conversations can be. You'll see people saying that Inoue is overrated and that he has fought nobody despite him being a 3-division champion and undisputed at bantamweight, and you'll see people saying that Fulton is overrated and he's ducking Inoue despite him fighting 9 undefeated fighters and being unified at super bantam. But there's a narrative that seems to be prevalent, which is Inoue has never fought a black fighter, which then created a counter narrative that Fulton has never fought a black fighter either. But when you look at the facts, you'll understand that both of these narratives are very stupid. However, there is some validity to these narratives, but context matters. Let me explain so we can debunk this narrative. So when it comes to sports or any activity, certain groups of people will show aptitude or consistently compete at the highest levels. For example, Texas has produced the most active NFL players than any other state. Brazilians always compete at the highest level in soccer. When I was in college, the Asian American students were hella deep in intramurals volleyball and they would run the courts. Old people are elite bingo players and little kids are better at Fortnite than the majority of adults. You see where I'm going with this. And when it comes to boxing, based on a historical and objective standpoint, African Americans, along with Mexicans, Japanese, and the UK, are a group that consistently produces elite talent in each generation. But the African Americans who are slick boxer punchers or slick pure boxers have shown that style to be very successful and hard to beat, with some of the best and most influential fighters falling underneath that category. Examples include Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard, Thomas Hearns, Pernell Whitaker, James Toney, Roy Jones, Floyd Mayweather, Andre Ward, etc. And before you even say it, no, I'm not trying to sound like I'm racist or saying that if you're the black that means you're the best or you'll automatically win. Far from it. What I'm saying is that it's only natural for people to ponder how Inoue will face off against Fulton because it's rare to see an elite Japanese boxer fight an elite African American boxer. But there's multiple reasons why this narrative is stupid. The first is, there isn't a lot of African American boxers who compete below featherweight, so the possibility of Inoue fighting one is very low. Second is that Inoue has sent offers to Gary Antonio Russell Jr. and Rashi Warren, both are African American fighters that fight at bantamweight, but they declined the offer, so Inoue never got the opportunity to do so. Look at this clip.
率直にすぐに名前が上がるとしたら、ウォーレン、ラッセル。で、ウォーレン、ラッセルにオファーは出したけど、向こうのプロモーターから断りの連絡が来たという状態。今はできない。できない。今はできない。
The third, which is the counter narrative, which is Fulton has never fought an African American fighter, is an outright lie because Fulton has beaten multiple African American fighters, with the undefeated Joshua Greer being the standout African American fighter he beat. So overall, this is just a silly narrative with no substance. But the most interesting aspect about this narrative and the overall discourse regarding this fight is that most of the toxic arguments are mainly between American and or English-speaking fans. From what I've seen, most Japanese fans appear to be respectful to both opponents, but I could be wrong. And when it comes to the American and English-speaking fans, the vast majority of the Fulton supporters are black, while the vast majority of the Inoue fans are non-black. I mean, there's nothing wrong with supporting your own people. There's nothing wrong with supporting the guy that you just like or think that will win. You can still have a civil, respectful, and logical discourse with this type of fan dynamic, but toxic arguments get the most attention, and fans on each side will point the finger at each other and project onto one another. The way that I interpret this is that the concept of American pride is dying, and tribalism is more important to an American boxing fan. This is different from the UFC, where American fans will usually support the American fighter against a foreign fighter, but descend into tribalism when it's American versus American. I do believe that if Fulton was a UK fighter, the discourse surrounding this fight would be less toxic. But who knows, this is boxing, anything can happen. But thank you for tuning in with Ayo Boxing with Madiba. Hit like and subscribe, and more content's coming your way.